So those unaware, I want to do Platinum Trophy content alongside reviews, but not only have these videos just went wrong for different reasons, but I'm also behind on Platinums as it is. Because of this, I started doing more longer Platinums, and ones I'd just be more proud of. One of them is Pac-Man Museum Plus, aka a £20 collection of 14 Pac-Man games all in one. It's a pretty long one, pretty challenging one. You just have to do really well in all these different games, complete tons of different challenges within each of them. One of those games is Pac N Roll Remix. To those unaware, this is actually a remake of a DS game, Pac N Roll, an early DS title. This second entry, however, well, remake I should say, it was only ever released as a part of Namco Museum Remix, and its re-release, Namco Museum Megamix, on Nintendo Wii, but then re-released in Pac-Man Museum, and then released in Pac-Man Museum Plus. You can't buy the game on its own though. Pretty interesting. I thought I'd do a video on it because there's a challenge where you have to beat the entire thing in one sitting. Fucking perfect. I didn't want to smile today, but is this forgotten part of such a grand franchise any good? No, it's not. If you couldn't tell, it's not good. Playing it in one sitting just made it even worse. To see why it's so bad, we need to dive deep into the controller and play Pac N Roll Remix. Pac N Roll Remix has you as Pac-Man, but... okay, would this count as decapitation or just Pac-Man having his limbs torn off? Let's look at the story and go from there. Oh wait, you need to buy the DS game to know the story. The remake removes the tutorial dream sequence and all story from the game. It's just a slideshow and images with text. Was this too hard to include somehow? As for the story though, there's a new ghost, Galvos. He turns everyone into balls. Everyone is balls now. Oh yeah, also, this game also establishes the fact that despite Pac-Man having his world design in his pre-ball form, he's on a school holiday break and he's a kid, even though in the Pac-Man world games he has a wife and a child. So is this a prequel? Also, he can talk here, but not in the classic Pac-Man World 1 or 2. Would this be called a prequel or a pre-ball? All jokes or comments I can make aside, this doesn't look cursed. I mean, it would have been better if they didn't have the nose and it was the classic ball form, like, where it's just the eyes and then the ball. They even actually used this design from this game and Pac N Roll in general in Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. I find that pretty cool. They also did that with Metal Pac-Man actually. I like that design. This game is focused on physics and momentum as you pack and roll around at the speed of sound. After all, you've got places to go and got to follow your rainbow. One thing I will say is that Pac-Man controls well and built to be slippery with open areas clearly in mind. As long as the level design doesn't go against that, we should be fine. It does take a bit of getting used to, but the controls do feel good. You also have a button to cling to the floor and a boost button that can help you in certain levels, even being required at points. Oddly though, the game doesn't tell you any of the controls, you just gotta figure it out on your own. If you don't want to do that. There's this part here where you need the speed boost to get up here, but then like you're not meant to do it without that. But I somehow, when playing for this video, I figured out how to do it without the speed boost. So health consists of 4 slots, presented in a traffic light. Why? You only have one way of taking damage. These iconic classic ghosts who look really derpy enough in this game, to be honest. I should mention they also reused these ghost designs for Pac-Motos, a crossover of Pac-Man and Motos. What do you mean you've never played Motos before? I've actually never heard of Motos before Pac-Man Museum Plus came out. The basic rundown is this. You go through a level collecting pellets and giving them in a specific pellet gate that require a certain amount to progress. You do that 2 to 3 times max and that's the level. The game even shows you in the corner how many you need for the next gate. That actually really helps. The game's main hook is the physics to your speed, the momentum, the rolling, and there is boost pads, ramps, etc. and they play around with that nicely. Even just the entire world around you can play with physics. The game becomes kind of a puzzle in a way, as sometimes you just need to figure out how to progress. It's nothing that good, but it's decent, it's fine enough, a 6 out of 10. The only time I'd say it's a 7 out of 10 is in World 2, which honestly is pretty decent. Not a high 7 out of 10, but it's good. There is also visual variety for each world, and while that is cool, on a mechanical level there's not a ton of things to mess around with whatsoever. They have power-up chocolate bars which are kinda cool, but they don't do too much. The Night form, which is heavier, can break metal crates and can sink underwater, basically making it a copy of the metal power-up from Pac-Man World, which is a copy of the metal power-up from Super Mario 64. The last is this Feather form. I personally quit Hermes, even though in writing the script, I realised it's probably just the wing cap from Mario 64, like in terms of what it got inspired by. It's the opposite to the Knight form, where this one lets you move around lighter and go faster. Very simple, I get the idea here, but it's kind of boring, just not much is done with it whatsoever. I should also mention there is a bar that turns you back to your normal form, not as a punishment per se, just that certain areas need your regular form. Like, I mean, they're just built around that weight and stuff, so don't feel bad if you get turned back to normal. Feel bad because you chose to play this game. That's a joke, if you like this game, I won't shame you, you're cool. I should mention the visual forms and chocolate bars are also used again in Pac-Motos, just like the ghost designs. I should say with the likely limited budget, the game does still manage to look pretty good. One thing I want to admit real quick is the Wii could do some really nice cartoony art styles with very nice vibrant colours. Whether it be the Mii games, Punch Out on the Wii, New Super Mario Bros, Super Mario Galaxy, Sonic Colors, you get the idea. I remember Pac-Man Party having a nice art style too. So from what I've told you, you'd think this Pac N Roll remix game sounds decent, right? Then World 3 happens. So, for some reason I cannot explain it all, the level design just goes kinda ass. Like, there's some levels that are okay, but less good. But then there's levels that are just bad, like 3-1. This level's tedious, it's boring, you need to wait for specific moving platforms. You're spending more time waiting than actually rolling around doing stuff. It's not fun. Then you have the boss fight. Okay, so the game has 4 bosses despite having 5 worlds. World 1 doesn't have a boss. I don't know why, it's really weird. You go around and you need to collect 3 power pellets. This lets you then attack the new ghost. For World 3's boss though, the area is too small to really move around and do much. Golvis, if you couldn't tell, is also pretty big, which just makes it even harder to do anything. Also, his wind attack can just insta-kill you. Great. It's just annoying overall. World 4 and 5's bosses are good, but then World 4, as a whole, the boss is good, but these levels are so bad. So Super Monkey Ball is clearly built around the tighter controls and areas, where it has a little bit of slip to it, but you can tell it's very intentionally done in a way that actually complements the level design. Here though, it's too slippery and the game wasn't built for this, but here we are. The tighter level designs they want to do with this game just don't work because, again, Pac-Man wasn't built for this. Why are they trying to do this? Also, Pac-Man is way faster than II or whoever else you want to play as in Super Monkey Ball. It's fundamentally broken. That's the issue. When the game's good, it's okay. When it's bad, it's really bad. So the bad outweighs the good tenfold.
Want some juice?
World 5's an improvement, I guess, but it still has the same issues as World 4. There's also points where I stopped recording because I thought, oh, I have enough footage of this level, screw it. And I have game overed like 2 or 3 times. But then off camera, I started recording again afterwards because I somehow went over the goal, missed it, died, game overed, whatever else. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, and I'm not even kidding. Out of my game, out of my control. Because the controls just don't complement this level design. Also, the game just kind of abruptly ends after the final boss with no resolution or anything, because again, the cutscenes are missing. The credits have, because it was part of the Namco collection, they have screenshots from other games for some reason. That's stupid. I mean, it's still more than what John Carpenter's Toxic Commando got. That didn't even get a cut to credits after the final boss. That game's still good though. This is bad. Speaking of credits, after the credits, the game gives you a game over. Thanks for beating our game, go fuck yourself, I guess. The game goes from a cute little novelty to frustrating bullcrap that just can't ever be good because there's just contradictions within the level design in World 4 and 5 and the way the game actually kind of plays and controls. This game could have been something small and cute and not really a problem. The issues just are way bigger than the good parts of this game. Having to play it in one sitting also just didn't help. That really did put me in a bad mood while I was playing it. With that said, I do not recommend picking up a controller and playing Pac N Roll Remix.